All right. Hello, everyone. And this is Tazeen Siddiqui. And first of all, I want to thank you all, Iris Florets and everyone who gave me this opportunity to interact with you all and to share a heart together and to also share knowledge. My friends, first I want to congratulate each one of you. Why congratulate? Because each day you're winning it. You're winning this lockdown each day with new hope, with new courage, and with new positivity. Because everything in life that you want to achieve is achieved through the courage, through positivity, and through vision. So congratulations, each one of you, for winning this lockdown each day with your courage and with your positivity. Now, I want to take you to the journey today, the journey of your thoughts. Before I come to the technical part of lateral thinking, I want to first take you to the journey of yourself, the journey of understanding yourself. My friends, the experiences that we are witnessing today are not usual ones. They are definitely unusual ones because we are locked down. We cannot go out. There are a few restrictions in there. But along with this, some of you would consider it an experience which is not so good, obviously. While if we see it this way, that we are locked down, maybe this lockdown is an opportunity for each one of you to understand yourself, to bring out the best version of yourself each day by transforming yourself, by understanding your strength and your weaknesses. Because this is the time that you never got for yourself. Because we all are so busy in our schedule that we don't get time to actually think what is going on within our hearts and how can we transform our hearts into a better version of ourselves. So this is an opportunity and this is the best time which you got in your life to actually bring the best version of yourself. And how do you do that? My friends, when you are in the situation which is not in your control, you do get irritated, you get angry, and sometimes you don't like anything. You just want to just sit quietly without understanding anything and just get irritated. All those thoughts of anger, irritation emit negative energy around you. Have you ever noticed that when you're angry or when you're frustrated, the things that you try to do are never done effectively? Be it even drinking a glass of water or putting it back, it might fall. Even the glass might fall, such a little effort. But when you're irritated and when you are angry, that negative energy that emits all around you make you so negative that anything that you do is not done effectively. While on the other hand, if you think about the positive aspect, that you are more fortunate enough to sit at your home safely. You're fortunate enough to have great food and the food of your choice. And you're fortunate enough to get entertained as you like. And these things are more than enough to feel positive, to feel relaxed, and to feel happy. And the moment you start feeling positive, the moment you start feeling happy, you will realize that you emit the positive energy around you and you're able to do each and everything very effectively, and you will create an atmosphere of hope, an atmosphere of positivity, and an atmosphere of confidence and encouragement. My friends, stay away from news. Stay away from COVID-19 news. Only the limited news that you're getting is more than enough. Don't get too much into it, because then you get anxiety, you get scared, you get fear, and all these negative things make you lack your confidence and you feel unhappy. Don't tell your children the stories of people dying. Tell them the stories of hope, that how many patients have recovered. Tell them the stories of encouragement about the doctors who have tried day and night and recovered so many patients. Tell them the stories of hope and positivity, so that even in this situation, they are encouraged, they are positive, they are hopeful that we are going to see a great sunshine very soon. We need the world that is created today. Your house is a small world for you. And it's up to you how you make it the most happiest one and the most shining one. When you wake up in the morning, what do? I'm sure ladies in the kitchen, right? What to make, what to do. But my friends, when you wake up in the morning, just go out in nature for at least 5 minutes, be it even in your balcony or even open the window and just experience the nature, look at the clouds for at least 5 minutes. Give those 5 minutes to yourself and nature. This connect is the most beautiful connect that you do in the morning, where you hear the birds chirping, you see the beautiful blue clouds, and you actually feel the fresh air. That moment is the most beautiful moment and the most beautiful connect that energizes you to actually excel the whole day with your amazing thoughts, with your amazing actions, and with your amazing energy. Because there is no rocket science to be happy. There's just magical, what I must say, funda. To be happy is to be positive, to be hopeful. So all those things, when you think that you're fortunate enough, that all the people who are on roads right now, you're fortunate enough to do what you want to do. That is more than enough to bring smile at your lips and to bring happiness and to bring smiles on not only just on your lips, but on all the people around you. Because right now, your house is your world, and it is up to you how you make it the most happiest one. Remember, when this lockdown ends, you should remember it with great memories. It should bring a smile to you when you remember your time at home with your family after everything gets normal. Then if you're writing about it, even if you're writing about your lockdown diaries or your lockdown days at home, it should be full of amazing, beautiful memories, happiness, and positivity. Make every moment special to you and special to everyone, so that you can live these moments with full positivity and happiness. Because experiences are never good and bad, my friends. It's we who perceive it to be good or bad. I'll give you an example. As I said, that lockdown for some would be not good experience because you're at home, you cannot go out. But for some, it can be an excellent experience to actually help themselves, to understand themselves, and to connect with God, to have amazing spiritual intelligence at some other level, where you connect with God and ask God for all the happiness of the world and for all the people in the world. So this lockdown is a good experience for you to know yourself. So to be happy, to be positive, and to just emit positive energy around you, to do things in an effective way, you need to be happy within yourself. You cannot make the world happy around you unless you are happy yourself. So first of all, stay happy within your heart. Make yourself happy by doing what you want to do, or maybe you missed for so many years. Maybe you wanted to play piano, or you wanted to play a guitar or sing a song or dance that you couldn't do because of your busy schedule. And now you got that opportunity to rock it. You have time to give to yourself. You have time to think about yourself. And you have time and you have energy to actually make your home, your paradise, the most beautiful place to live. Because home is the most beautiful place where you live the most special moments of your life. So when, even from office, when you're coming and you're at the door of your house, remember you're entering a place where you have lived the most beautiful moments of your life, and a smile should immediately come at the door of the house. Now, starting with when I said that you should always give the courage and happiness and hope to your children, now comes the how do you make children creative? You know, how do you make them think in a different way? Well, my friends, there is a little flow chart of lateral thinking, which I'll share with you as a pic. Now, it all starts first with positivity. Now, when a child is positive, right? When a child thinks positively and he has hopes, he has encouragement, he has strength, that positivity leads to thinking. The moment the child is positive, he starts thinking in a different way. He starts thinking in like many ways through which he can get to the right solution. So the thought process is ignited when the child gets into the zone of positive thinking. And this positive thinking leads to a great imagination. Now what happens is, child is positive and his thought process is ignited. He starts thinking and taking himself to the journey of innovative ideas. Because he has no fear, he has no anxiety, he's all encouraged with the thought that he can think beyond what is he seen. He can think beyond what is taught. So when positivity leads to ignited thinking, and this ignited thinking leads to amazing imagination. And when the child imagines the best through which he can actually find a unique solution to anything, a unique process to find a solution to it, that leads to creativity. And that creativity, when a child gets creative and that creativity is ignited, that's where he understands that he can now come with a uniqueness, with a unique innovation that no one in the world has ever witnessed. And this leads to an innovation. And this creative thought process leads to a great innovation. And this innovations that every youth gets into the creative thinking, a new process, and a great innovative ideas, that leads to nation building. So for building of the nation, the root from where we start is positivity. And from positivity, we go to ignited thinking. When thinking is ignited, that leads to imagination, where you travel to in the journey of your thoughts. And after imagination comes the creativity, the creative thinking, the creative ideas that leads to innovations. And this innovation leads to the nation building. That's how we make a nation strong. That's how we build the nation strong, when we inculcate the great positivity in our young generation. When we give the wings of freedom to the youth to create and innovate, that leads to nation building. And this nation building leads to economy stability. The economic stability comes with building of nation, with all the innovation ideas that our youth creates to mark their names in the history of the world. My friends, I'll give you a small example of Dr. Apj Abdul Kalam Sahab. When I had a meeting with him, he told me that how he got this idea of becoming a great scientist. There was a sea, and their teacher took all the kids near the sea, and they were sitting. And suddenly, Kalam Sahab saw in the sky the bird flying. And Kalam Sahab asked the teacher, how does a bird fly? And just the answer to that question the teacher gave, that how does a bird fly, with what angle the wings are, and what mechanism is required for that bird to fly, ignited Kalam Saab's heart and mind to become the world's best scientist. So my friends, all the questions that a child asks, do satisfy them, because you never know which question ignite their heart and mind to their ambition of passion. So this is very important to understand every question that your child come up with. Satisfy every question that a child asks you, be it anything, be the question be as foolish as possible, but do answer it, do satisfy it, because you don't know the question that we feel is a foolish one. We don't know what thought process is going on in the child's mind. What is he thinking, on what lines is he thinking to bring out the great innovation and the great creativity in his thought to bring on a great innovation. So whenever you want to encourage the lateral thinking in the child, there are few things that you can make puzzles, right? Make puzzles where a child has to reach a place through different ways. Now, don't tell them the ways. You ask the child that what are the ways by which a child can reach the destination. Just tell them the guidelines and what all restrictions are there in the path through which the child has to overcome, all the restrictions and the guidelines that the child has to overcome. So give him a puzzle where how a child can lead to the destination through different ways. And through the guidelines and through overcoming those restrictions that you give in that puzzle. And this encourages the lateral thinking, the innovations, and the creativity. So these are the things that are very important if you want the child to be amazingly innovative and creative. But that just do not come like that. That comes when he is mentally sound. When mental health is amazing, with positivity, with happiness, and with encouragement, that's what leads to creative thinking and innovations in the child. Well, now lateral thinking was first invented by Edward de Bono in 1967. It involves solving problems through an indirect and creative way using reasoning that is not immediately obvious. As I said, that not the obvious path where a child can reach the destination, but the child has to think on different ways, on different things, on different lines, with the restrictions that you provide him, how he can reach to that particular destination. So if you want a child to be to be a creative, to be innovative, to encourage the lateral thinking of the child, remember, it's not just giving the puzzle to the child. It's about, now you remember where it started? You know how it starts, and how this lateral thinking is encouraged? It starts right from the root of positivity. It starts right from a child feeling. Heart is an important thing. Heart is one of the most important part of our body. And once we start thinking with our heart and align our mind with our heart, our decision making is effective. So, and how you make your heart calm? You make your heart calm by thinking with your heart in the most amazing way, in the most positive way. And this positivity and this innovation and creativity is ignited from the root, that is satisfying the child's heart. Now, when I say satisfy the child's heart, that doesn't mean to give him ice cream at 2 a.m. That is not satisfying his heart. Satisfy his heart means that satisfy his fears. If he's scared of something, understand him beyond words, where he doesn't have to tell you every time what he's feeling, where you can actually observe it through his eyes, through his gestures, that he is tense. Once you talk to the child and satisfy his heart by discussing with him and by making his heart and mind calm, by giving him solutions, and please don't be judgmental on what the child shares with you. That is the most important thing, which I would like to say to all the parents and everyone. Don't ever be judgmental whatever your child shares with you. Try to understand it as a third person. Try to analyze it and try to find solutions for it, and try to make the child understand his positive things and things that he needs to improve on. And in lockdown phase, the most important thing is try not to use the instruction mode with children. Avoid saying, don't do this, go there and do it. You should do this, you should do that. No. Avoid the instruction mode in this lockdown phase, because they are already going through multiple emotions and multiple thought process in it. So you need not use the instruction mode. Rather, you need to have the mode of discussion. Instead of saying, go do it, let's together do this. Like, how about we play a new game today? How about we do this today? And avoid interact when you're discussing with the child. Avoid standing up, and if the child is not to your height, he has to put his head up and look at you. Avoid that kind of interaction. If the child is small or is not up to your height, please come down to your knees, and your interaction should be eye to eye contact, where the child can see you straight. He doesn't have to lift his head to talk to you. The interaction should be eye to eye connect, where you can actually talk to the child in the most beautiful way. And this gives the trust in children. This gives the confidence in kids that my mom trusts me in whatever I do. So on this, if you have any questions, I would love to take it up. Yes, can I have some questions on it? Okay. So I shall proceed now. If there's any questions, I would love to answer them. But I cannot see the questions here. So my friends, that's how you actually encourage the positivity and innovations in a child. But remember, it's not just about lateral thinking. It's about a peaceful mind and a peaceful heart that leads to learning. Now, how does the learning takes place? Learning doesn't take place when you make the child understand the whole chapter. That's not the learning. The learning is when you make the child understand. I mean, when you can actually see the child first before explaining anything. See if the child is in a mood to understand. If the child is not in a mood to understand, but still you want to make the child study, then there's one way out where you play, you start playing with the child, you start interacting with the child, and gradually you bring the child to the studies. So avoid instruction mode in this lockdown phase because it's important to understand the child through their eyes, through their heart, not through our eyes, because when we see the child, we'll see it through our ways. Now we need to understand the child from their perspective, right? So try to understand the child through a child's perspective. Don't be judgmental ever in whatever the child shares with you, because see, every child is in the growing stage. This is the growing phase of the child. He will witness different experiences in different phases of life. If you be judgmental towards what he shares, then the child will be quiet and he will not share the things with you. And he will start sharing with maybe with the other person who might not guide him the way you guide him. So to make the child your best friend, you need to interact, not be judgmental, and avoid instruction mode. And try to come in a discussion mode where you can actually talk to the child in the best way, like a friend, and help him do everything that he wants to do. So Rakesh, can I have some questions? Because I'm unable to see the questions here. If any one of you have the questions, you're most welcome to ask me. Okay. So proceeding with this, let us understand. So we started off by taking you to the journey of yourself, how you should keep yourself happy, and then coming to children, how you can make your child happy first, because learning takes place with a happy heart and mind. Learning doesn't come with a stressed heart and mind. No matter how beautifully you explain the child, if the heart and mind is stressed, is in fear, the child will not understand it in the better way. So to make the child understand in the most amazing way, you need to calm the heart and mind of the child in the most effective way possible. So as I gave you the example of Kalam Sahab, satisfying questions ignited his heart and mind to become the best scientist of the world. So that's how the lateral thinking, the most important component of encouraging and increasing lateral thinking is you need to satisfy the questions of every child, be it any question, be it as foolish question as possible. You need to hear it and you need to satisfy it in the best way you can. So, and after this, as I said, there's a flow chart of lateral thinking, starting with positivity to imagination, and imagination to thinking, and thinking to creativity, and creativity leads to innovation, which leads to nation building, and nation building leads to economic stability of the nation. So how important is lateral thinking for a child? You can understand from this flow chart that it leads to, it affects the whole nation, the economic prosperity of the nation. But it starts right from a calm heart and a calm mind. So now, let us now understand, let's come out for mothers. I want to share something that I know ladies right now are into the kitchen making delicious stuff. And Well, you do as you make great food for your family, and that's the best part of this lockdown. You get an opportunity to brush up your skills, your cooking skills, but also give time to yourself, to your passion. You know, give some time to yourself, because that would make you satisfy your heart and mind, which is the most important aspect. Because when you are happy, you can make the world and the people around you the happiest of all, right? Now, when you see the sky at night, you see so many stars down there, you see the moon there with the bright light. What is the first thought that comes to your mind? The first thought that comes to your mind when you see the moon at night is how bright and beautiful is the moon. When you can actually witness it right from your house, from your balcony, from your terrace, you can view it. And no matter how miles and miles and miles away that moon is from you, but you can see it from your balcony, you can witness it from your terrace. And that's how is the brightness that you need to brush up in every child. That shine that your child would come out with, that shine is going to go across the world. That child that you bring up with a calm heart and mind will be as bright for the world to view it from their homes, from their places, from every part of the world. He'll be there where people will read about him, and that shine will be across the world. So this is how a child's lateral thinking is encouraged. And this is how it happens when you give them the environment of hopes, the environment to understand things at their perspective. Do not always try to make your kids your clones, because every child is unique, every child is different, and they think in a different way. So try to make the child understand the situation in his or her own perspective and come out with the solution with their own thought process and with their own skills. Right? Thank you very much. And I'm very happy I got this opportunity to interact with you all. I'm very happy and thankful to Cerise for this opportunity, and Iris Florets, all of you. Love you all. God bless you all. Take good care. Thank you very much.